Hopefully you can hear me. Looks a bit choppy, doesn't it? Welcome to Thursday night, Shreds and Chats. Already got the moderator happening, nice. Tonight's about all things electric guitar. Jamming to some backings that I've written. Talking guitar, playing guitar, doing all the guitar stuff really. So I'm just going to start off with a little bit of a mellow playthrough. Hope everyone's good. Just doing some tuning. And we're back. Master Billy. How are you, man? Good stream today, bro. Enjoyed that. Nice composing. They're done, man. Now I'm just writing up the course, so pretty excited, actually. Pretty excited. It's pretty exciting. I want to try something. Did that work? Is that like a shout out thing? Just trying to do the trying to get the things working. So this is a nice little calm piece to start off with. D major, basically. like these single string exercises. Make your phrase a bit differently. Might just give that one a rest, I think. Oh, radio fade. Radio fade, baby. Here we go, you ready? Here's a bit of a Lydian workout. Oh yeah, Lydian workouts. I've been working on weird interval stuff. Working on moving intervals back and forward in an interesting way, rather than patterns. Working on trying to get intervals back and forth. So this kind of thing. Yeah, so trying to sequence the notes. So instead of doing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1 sort of thing, have it so you're jumping like forwards and reverse. Not that last bit. Trying to also impose some working on my substitutions. Working on the idea of imposing different tonalities. So this one, the Lydian dominance. We get these sort of sounds. So that sort of idea. Also trying to use, I did this video a little while back, 3 levels of Lydian. Trying to use the minor pentatonic down a half step. So for the C Lydian, you'd use a B minor pentatonic. When you go to the E Lydian, you use a D flat minor pentatonic. So like this kind of idea. Yep, the Widdly Diddly Way. Episode 11, I think. That's my instructional series. It's called the 3 Levels of Lydian. 3 Levels of Lydian. And it talks about that as a trick to get you started. Welcome, who are you? Hope you're well. Thanks for joining us for Shreds and Chats. We're just talking about the 3 levels of Lydian at the moment. So we're talking about the how to figure out the modalities. So the first level is using the pentatonics down a half step, like this. And the second level is actually using the modes. So then if we're in E, we're playing a B major. And then if we're in C, we're playing a G major. 4th mode. Shreds. That's the one. So here we're going to use the straight modes. Man, my first guitar was an old Strat copy. It was awesome. It was just covered in stickers. And I used to work in a mine underground, and it had the underground fluorescent masking tape on it. So cool. I had that guitar for the longest time. It was a Sessions guitar, Strat copy. Ugly as sin. Yeah, they'll do that. If you lend them to people, they walk away. That was actually that one I'm talking about, man. It was a Sessions guitar, Strat copy. The first Ibanez I ever owned is this one. didn't buy an Ibanez till... Nah, I sold that years ago. Alex J Music, how are you, man? Obviously, Billy's been discording. Thanks, Billy. So yeah, actually, and my Strat got stolen as well, so I don't have much of a... Oh, yeah, sorry, that's right. That was Noodles. That was a Noodles brand guitar. You're right. You got me. I'd forgotten about that one, man. I had forgotten about that guitar. How's that? It was an Ibanez, and I won it in a guitar playing competition for something. And it was the Ibanez, it was Noodles from The Offspring, his custom guitar. And it was a gaff tape guitar. Yeah, it was completely covered in gaff tape. That's right. You reminded me, man. Thank you so much. Forgot I owned that guitar. It actually had decent pickups, but the neck was terrible. It was really terrible. Yeah. Oh, man. But it was fun. I'd actually played one of the solos off one of my albums on that guitar. If anybody listens to any of my music, the song Orbit, the solo on Orbit is that guitar, and it's it's not good. The tone is actually good, but the guitar was not. So that's the second level, and then the third level, we're doing some imposing some modes of the melodic minors. So Lydian flat 6, Lydian flat 7, or dominant Lydian. So it sounds like this sound. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Nah, man, that one's gone too. I sold that one before I moved to the UK. I sold all the guitars. All of them, yeah. Except for my Strat and my Gibson Les Paul and my Takamine. Oh, that's a good question, Billy. Probably a really, really, really nice Strat, I'd say. I like your words, Magic Man. I don't know what you were talking about, but maybe I'll learn something. Maybe, man. Probably. I don't really know what I'm talking about either. I sold them all. Even my first guitar, my first real good guitar, which was a Hamer California Elite, which was a 27 fret ebony fretboard, single volume button, no tone shred machine. It was one of the early. It's handmade in California. It cost me like $3,500 right back in like the early 90s. So it'd be worth like, to buy it new now, I don't even know. But I sold it for about the same price as I bought it for. Yeah, I think a really nice Strat maybe, just because Strats fit basically the music that I play more than anything else. Maybe like one of the Eric Johnson model Strats, or actually one of the Richie Kotzen. One of the Richie Kotzen ones. Either Richie Kotzen Telly or the Richie Kotzen Strat. What am I looking for in a guitar? So when I try one, okay, so if it's an acoustic guitar, I'm looking for the G chord. I'm looking for, when I pick a guitar up and I strum the G chord, it fills the room. So it's got to smell good, yeah, definitely. Oh, cool, man. Ooh, that's good chat. Andy Timmons Ibanez. You know, I've never tried one. I have tried a couple of the Richie Kotzen ones, and he's got a slightly thicker neck on his guitars. They're a slightly thicker neck, but they're also slightly radiused. So it's not the full baseball bat neck. I think the Andy Timmons ones are a little bit thinner from what I've read on the specs. I really like the pickups though on the Andy Timmons one, but I think overall the Richie Kotzen Strat or the Richie Kotzen Telly I think would be one of the ones, or maybe one of those, as you said, one of those really really fancy PRSs. Yeah, maybe that one. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one of the tracks off my latest instrumental album while we're here. And this one... Oh, cool. My bots are actually working. There you go, Billy. Good advice, man. Thank you so much. Okay, Billy, but as long as it's not about my penis, mate, okay? I can only answer those questions live. Yeah, so this is a track that actually Mr. Billy Crab here, who's online at the moment, all-round legend, he actually mixed and mastered this track for me. And this track is my attempt at like a country rock thing. It's my attempt anyway. Oh, Logic's going very slow. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. There we go. What have you done? Oh, here we go. Sorry, just setting this up. Oh boy. Can everybody hear that? Yeah, man, still bias. Yeah, Bias Effects is really good, man. I got the Bias Effects 2. It's fantastic for demos, and actually a lot of the tones off that album are from Bias Effects. So if you like the tones on that, it's all just Bias Effects mainly, and a couple of the cleaner tones are from my Mesa amp, and then a couple of other plugins from Logic. But most of it's actually Bias Effects. It's really, I mean, it's not the new quad core one from Neural DSP, or it's not a Kemper or anything. So it's not trying to capture a sound. But I wasn't really going for like a genuine Strat or Gibson sound. I was going for something else. So it worked really well for that. All right, so here's the tune. This one's called The Country Funk. The Funtry Kunk, I mean. So that's a song called the Fun Tree Kunk. And that's off the latest EP. Mixed and mastered by the mixing mastermind, Billy Crabb. Yeah, so that's kind of my attempt at at like a blues rocky kind of thing. It's kind of probably more, I guess, sort of where I'm from, I guess. Just like I play a lot of, as I was growing up, I played a lot of blues, not a lot of country, but mostly sort of blues rock, and then all the shreddy stuff. So that was kind of a decent song for me to write, just more of like a tip of the cap, if you will. What was the very first thing you remember learning on the guitar, Billy? Ooh. The very first thing. It would have been probably, actually, I learned to play the ukulele first. So it would have been something like a folk song, or like something like Knocking on Heaven's Door or something. And then when I first started playing guitar, I was totally in love with Iron Maiden. So I probably would have learnt like a bunch of Iron Maiden riffs and AC/DC. So AC/DC and Iron Maiden riffs on my dad's old nylon string guitar that was about as old as I was, actually older than me. Oh no, a slap a limiter and a boom. You're trying to upset Billy now, man. You can't just slap a limiter on it. You'll break his mighty Grecian heart. What was the first thing you ever learned, Billy? Anybody else play guitar here? So I'm going to do a couple more jams that I wrote through the week. Here's a bit of fun. I'm going to do a bit of fun. Just give me 1 sec, I'll set the track up. Thanks again for being here. I'm just going to do this. Oh, Fast Car, Tracy Chapman. Yep. Great song, actually, to learn, because you're just sliding that C chord up and down, aren't you? You can check out the new album just on that Spotify link if you want to, guys. That's the one that Billy mixed and mastered there. It's called Poe. Oh, House of the Rising Sun. Yeah, quality. That's good, because it's got that little diminished turnaround in it. It's got like an E major in there somewhere, hasn't it? Over the A minor. That's good chat, actually. I'm just going to set this track up, guys. Here's a bit of stuff, here's a bit of fun, bit of straight sort of 80s D major rock. arpeggios like this, man. Anyway, wanted to just blow out some cobwebs there. Slapping the bass. Yeah, man. I actually played bass in a band for a while, in a new metal band. A band called Stale. Back in the shoot away, man. What's the question, Billy? Yeah, I actually played in a new metal band for a while called Stale. Oh, come on, Logic. What you doing, baby? I want to get rid of this one. Yeah, and bass is actually super important, man. I really found playing bass very, very, very useful for my rhythmic timing. What is a piece of information that you feel gave your playing a boost? I think for me, because I never actually got any lessons, and when I moved to the country, there wasn't really any music program out there, so I kind of had to figure it all out myself. So for me, it was figuring out that the notes between the spaces in the minor pentatonics were actually notes that made sense. So it's like if you've got I'll just press stop on this. So if you've got this is going to sound bad because I've got the notes behind, but if you've got an A minor pentatonic, those notes make up the key, but there's also the second and the minor six in there. And when I realized that you could play instead of just the pentatonics, that's when I went, oh, my brain exploded, because up until that point, no one had actually ever shown me that. So I was sort of trying to figure out all these Satriani and Vi solos and everything just by ear. This is pre-internet, so you couldn't just look stuff up. You'd have to buy the magazines. Yeah, so that's probably the one with when you actually fill in the blanks between the minor pentatonics. So in the major pentatonics, you've got you can fill in the fourth and the seventh, and it gives you the major pentatonics. And that once I had that, the whole neck became a grid pattern for me, and then I could play then it was just a matter of getting the licks and everything down. What song did you struggle the most writing? Is that off the new album? Off the instrumental album Poe? Is that the one you're asking for? If it's off the new album, any song you've written, oh man, that's tough. Any song I've written. That's a really tough one. If you're talking process or you're talking words, because process-wise, it would have to be the probably the really early stuff or the most recent stuff, which doesn't make any sense. But the most recent instrumental stuff. Okay, so word stuff, probably the ones where I'm being the most vulnerable. Because vulnerability is hard, and it's something that I've learned to work on over the years. So the ones that I've got the most honesty in is probably the song that I feel hardest playing to somebody for the first time, when they can go, oh, I see what you're trying to say there, that's quite upsetting. So probably on that front, like Mass Appeal off the Animal Inside album, which is basically all about like realizing that you're getting older and you sort of lost touch maybe with the things that you used to think you were across, that shifting generational thing, and actually confronting the idea that life's not about you anymore, it's about other people. That was one of the hardest things for me lyrically to write. And then technically, probably Harmonic Movements, which is the final track off the most recent EP Poe. Because that song, it's not about you, Billy. It's not about you. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, that Mass Appeal song it's quite an honest song, which is, usually most of my songs are about politicians or, things that have gone wrong or people that have treated you poorly. But Mass Appeal is just about, an honest statement of sort of realizations of as you move through life, things change, and sometimes it's not all about you, and one day you'll die, and that sort of stuff. But yeah, technically speaking, Harmonic Movements was the hardest one, simply because I had that song lying around 4 years. The first part of it, like the first phrase, the first probably 60 bars, I'd basically written ages ago. And I just could not make it work. I just could not think of a way to transition into something that didn't sound shit, basically. So, and then the other thing about that was the actual arrangement of it. I'm actually the one I'm probably the most proud of is that one, Harmonic Movements, simply because I decided with that song that I was going to make it like a visual piece for me. So I was going to have it move through different scenarios. And that's kind of like moving through different phases and different arrangement-wise. It was getting the keys actually locked in for that one made all the difference. That was the hardest one. And it was really a breakthrough when the keys came in. And right up until the point where I put the keys on, I thought, I'm not going to be able to include this on the album because it doesn't sound right. But once the keys came in, I was like, that makes sense now. Do I use pedals? Yes. Probably that one then. Yeah, that one I'd say. Harmonic Movements. That's probably... I probably wrote that back when I was doing like real math metal stuff in like early 2000s. So maybe like 15, 16 years to write that song from start to finish. Yeah. Do I use pedals? Yes. I use some Strymon pedals, El Capistan delay. It depends. For my acoustic setup, I use an octave pedal, the OC3. I use a stomp pedal, which is the Bigfoot Yowie from Australia. I also use the Sir Sheba drive on the acoustic guitar. And then a looper. And what else? Diddly-diddly-dee. Yeah, that's it for that. And then for my electric setup, I usually use the Wampler Brett Mason Hotwired version 2 for the gain and overdrive. And then I'll use a Morley wah, a Dunlop wah, and a Strymon Mobius for modulation. Yeah, man, the Wampler, it's great. My only criticism of that one is it can get a little glassy in the top end, but I'm probably using it at a higher gain stage than what it was actually designed for. It's probably designed to stack a bit more like a Brent Mason, more like country rock, whereas I use it for like searing lead tones. Yeah, the BBs, I've played the BBs. They're awesome, man. Really fun pedals. Oh, what else do we use for electric? Modulation is the Mobius. Delay is the El Capistan. What else? I'm just trying to visualize. I used to use a lot of like like boost, like the exotic OC boost. What else? I had a pedal board that was used to weigh about 20 kilos, but I basically got rid of most of the pedals because I found I was relying on them too much, not my own hands, which is not good as a guitar player, I think. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, man. I'm glad. Well, it's funny, since the pandemic, I basically have very rarely plugged my amp in. Basically, I've got a Mesa Boogie TA30, the Transatlantic 30, which is it's kind of my sound in a box. But basically, since the pandemic, I haven't really plugged it in. I've plugged it in here and there, but that's about it. So I was actually relying a lot more on the Mesa Boogie, just on the tone rather than pedals, and just for boosts and gains and some delays, modulations and a bit of wah. And the rest was just coming out of the amplifier. So actually, with the new album, with the new EP, I'll have to... Oh, okay. The Supermodels plugin. I haven't heard of that one. I'll check it out. PRS does quality gear, man. So I haven't actually heard of that one. Yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah. So actually, with the Poe thing, I'm actually going to have to think about how I'm going to reproduce these sounds live. So it's probably going to mean an investment of something. Because the Poe stuff is a lot of it's more high gain than I'd usually play live. So I'll have to actually think about getting some. If anybody's got any good recommendations for, I thought about a Kemper. I really like the Kempers. And I guess I haven't got anything that's too full-on tone-wise or effects-wise on any of the tracks to play. So yeah, I'm just... it's not... The Archon is killer. Yeah, the Archon. That's what Tremonti uses, isn't it? From Alter Bridge? Is it? Is he PRS or is he Mesa as well? I can't remember. Yeah, so maybe the Kemper. I would like to get my hands on one of the new Neural DSP quad core boxes, but I think you basically have to murder someone and... Oh, Devin Townsend. Now, he's awesome, man. Singing like this. Yeah. Well, if anybody's got any good plugins or anything, let me know. I'd love to hear about them. I'm going to play another tune now. Oh, Devin Townsend, man. Check out Devin. Honestly, Devin Townsend is amazing. If you want to... He did an album with Steve Vai, and it's so gloriously overblown. It's genius. I can try. That would be hard to do. I'm pretty sure he always uses non-conventional tuning. I don't know what that means, Billy. It's a huge song. Yeah, he always has like these weird stacked tunings. Yeah, I don't even think it's like a drop C. It's like some sort of weird dadgad thing. He plays like almost like an open G tuning, I think. Oh, okay. Sweet. Thew Slate. Okay. I'll have to suss that out, man. Yeah, I'm still with the old bias effects. I think I might have to upgrade soon. It's just, with a year of not really working, the old bank balance is not really looking great for investment at the moment in new equipment. So it has to be Very cost effective. Yeah, do that, man. I'd like to hear it, actually. All right, yeah, bias is good. It's good. I think it's good for its gain tones. It's not as great for its clean tones. It gets a little woolly, in on certain things. But yeah, I really enjoy it. It's a great little platform. Okay, so I'm going to play one more tune to finish off, guys. Thanks very much for hanging around. So I'm doing this one every Thursday and every Wednesday, an acoustic stream. So if you want to come and listen to the acoustic stuff, that's a Wednesday. Yeah, gain staging. Yeah. So yeah, every Wednesday I do an acoustic stream. Every Thursday I'm doing an electric stream like this. And then I'm going to be doing some more stuff for the podcast. If any of you have heard my podcast at all, the Performing Musicians podcast, I'm doing more stuff with that as well on the Twitchy Witchy. So stand by. All right, we're going to play this tune to finish off. Thanks for sticking around, guys. I'm going to wind her up there. Now that I've played all the notes and another 6 notes. Say adieu. Anybody you're on Facebook, come and follow me on Facebook Saturday night for my acoustic stream. If not, back over here next Wednesday for my acoustic stream, next Thursday for the electric thing. Playing a new song off the EP and some more backings like this. Who do you suggest, man? Give me someone to raid. It's all in the name. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Blues.
It's about to go down.
You turn and run farther when the fast bullets fly. Like Judas of old, you lie and deceive. World wars can be won. It's what you want me to believe, but I see through your eyes, and I see through your brain, like I see through the waters that you masters of war. You that build all the bombs. You that build